Hello, friends, and welcome. Today we will have a special episode, a special video. I've selected from my collection a few examples of pretty old fountain pens. And I want to talk about the evolution of the design of these fountain pens. I will start with this shape. This shape, you can see it's a cylindrical shape. It is flattened on the bottom and on the top. This was the plain design of the fountain pens from the 1920s. An important step in the evolution of this design, these were generally lever fillers. Of course, this fountain pen, it is a special Sheaffer fountain pen, no nonsense, which is a tribute to the flat bottom ones of the 1920s. Unfortunately, in my collection, I don't have a flat fountain pen, but believe me, this was the shape from the 1920s. The Sheaffers Fountain Company comes with a great innovation in 1929. When this particular fountain pen is released, this is the famous Sheaffers Balance. It is a white dot, a lifetime warranty one, and you can see that the flat bottom becomes this particularly interesting torpedo shape. Here I have another example of the torpedo shape, done also by Sheaffers. This is a little one. But in the same time, at the beginning of the 1930s, we can see this Parker model, which had the same flat characteristic. So they practically remained with this characteristics till the 1950s. Some of the producers went crazy about these torpedo-shaped models, but some were more conservative. And let's go and see the Germans with this beautiful 100 model from the beginning of the 1930s, and this newer model from the end of the 40s. This is the 100N. So you can see the shape of them. Of course, I have another 1930s ladies fountain pen, the same shape, the same flat bottom, but this time with a ring for easy wearing. So I put this here. We will continue with another example. So I believe that maybe the designers of the Sheaffer Balance were inspired by the end part of the famous desk pens or deep pens, because in general these weren't fountain pens, they were deep in a tray of ink that was stationed on the office. So maybe this was the inspiration of the elegant torpedo shape. This is just a supposition of mine, so take it like a theory. Okay, and I have for you another example of the 1930s, and this particular is an OMAS, but it has a lot of similarities with the American Wall Doric. So you can see that it isn't quite flat. It has this shape like a small pyramid, a conical shape, We put this here, and I also have for you this Staedtler, and I believe this is from 1930s or 1940s. You can see the flat, and it was a piston filler. And interesting, we have the conical shape. So this is from the 1940s. And KAWECO, this is more similar to the OMAS model. So you can see the logo of the KAWECO, but it's like the OMAS. Look at them side by side. Of course, this is a lever filler, and this is button filler. Okay, so we can see some features of the design of the 1930s. Remember, this is the trendsetter. This beautiful jade green balance fountain pen from 1929. And now we reach the beautiful 50s. And we will start with this interesting Sheaffer model. This is the Sheaffers Touchdown Statesman from the beginning of the 1950s. It has an interesting filling system, unique filling system, but I won't talk about the filling system, but I want to show you this beautiful, beautiful cigar or torpedo shape. Of course, also the European producers, and in this case we have the famous Montblanc with this Meisterstück from 1952. This is the classic cigar shape. But you can see the similarities with the Sheaffer model from the beginning of the 50s, and you can see the similarities with the Sheaffers from the 1930s with this beautiful, beautiful elongated cigar shape. And the last one is the Pelikan. This is a Pelikan 140 green model, and you can see the similarities with the Montblanc, the dome shape of the cap, the dome shape of the end, where is the piston turning knob. This was a short review of the evolution of the design of fountain pens. So from this shape we reach the elegance and the beauty of the 1950s model, and the famous Meisterstück line from Montblanc, which is still under production. It reveals the classical shape of the 50s. This is shape that you can see even on your smartphones, on the emoticons of a fountain pen. They choose this iconic shape. So when you think of a fountain pen, you imagine yourself this fountain pen, this classical shape. I hope you've enjoyed my small presentation of different fountain pens from the 1920s, 1930s, 1940s, and the 1950s. If you've enjoyed this small review, you can subscribe to my channel and be part of my journey through collecting vintage fountain pens. Also, if you have comments and suggestions about the design evolution of the fountain pens, please let me know in the comments. As always, I wish you to have a nice day, and thank you for your time. Bye bye.